What's going on, everybody? So today we're about to head out to the range, and before I hit the range and do some live fire drills, I want to make sure that before I leave, I work on some basic fundamentals with dry fire practice with my rifles, just manipulating the rifle, just making sure how everything works. So I want to just get that familiarization and just get that warm and fuzzy with my rifle again. It's been a while since I messed around with my rifle. I've been doing a lot of handgun stuff, so it's been a little bit since I did some rifle training. I got my shot timer set for 3.5 seconds. That's kind of fast, but it's really not that fast, honestly, especially under stress and if your life depends on it. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start at a low ready. I'm gonna press the start timer. Once the first beat go off to stop, I'm gonna bring the rifle up on my target, pull the trigger. I'm gonna eject the mag. I'm gonna manually lock the bolt to the rear, because since I'm not using live rounds, the bolt is not gonna lock to the rear, so I have to manually lock it to the rear. I'm gonna eject the magazine, do a speed reload, get back on target, pull the trigger, and that's when the time stops. So we're gonna get ready to start. Like I said, mind you, it's been a while since I've messed with my rifle and done some rifle drills. I've been doing a lot of pistol drills for the last several weeks or whatever, and it's been a while since I picked up the rifle. So I'm gonna start this drill, and it might not be pretty, it might be pretty, it might not be pretty. You're gonna see how I do on my very first rifle drill in about a month or so. Stand by. I think right when I slammed the bolt shut is when the beep went off, so I failed that drill. Alright, attempt number 2. So like I said, the timer is set for 3.5 seconds, and my first attempt was horrible. Let's see how I do on my second attempt. Shooter, stand by. Alright, getting warmed up. I fumbled that one. This is a good example why you want to get those reps in, why you want to get those dry fire drills in before you go in the range and make a fool of yourself. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to attempt this again. The time is still at 3.5 seconds. The goal for today is to try to get it down to 3 seconds flat. Right now it's 3.5 seconds, and I'm still getting warmed up. Shooter ready? Stand by. Alright, I barely made it on that one. Let's try this again. Stand by. So as you can see, it's been a while since I've done any rifle drills, and it's definitely showing right now with these first couple attempts. Shooter ready? Stand by. That was way better. So I want to make sure that I do this consistently, 3 consecutive attempts, and then once I get 3 consecutive attempts and I feel like I'm pretty warmed up and I'm pretty consistent with it, then I'm going to drop the time down to 3 seconds flat. So right now it's still 3.5 because I'm still a little iffy with it. Ready? Stand by. I was pretty happy with that one, so I'm going to count that as my first good successful speed reload. Shooter ready? Stand by. Feel very good about that one. So this is my third attempt, and if I do this one pretty good, then I'm going to drop the time down to 3 seconds. Stand by. I'm not even going to edit that part out. I'm going to leave that in there to show you this is what really happens, and this is why you need to train. So as you can see in that attempt, when I went to grab the magazine went slipping out of my hand. I got these new gloves I'm trying to break in, so they're still kind of slippery. That's exactly why you train before you go to the range. Stuff like that happens and you look crazy in front of everybody. That's why you got to train. Alright, so I'm not going to count that last one when the magazine went flying out of my hand. Like I said, I'm trying to break in some new gloves, so I'm going to go ahead and continue. I got 2 good ones. If I get this third one pretty straight, then I'm going to drop the time down to 3 seconds. Stand by. So I got that one within the time, but I'm going to go ahead and do one more time just in case, just to make sure that I'm comfortable and I'm ready to drop the time down to 3 seconds. Shooter ready? Stand by. Pretty good. Okay, so now that I'm happy with that time, I'm able to do all my tasks and change magazines within 3.5 seconds. I dropped the timer down to 3 seconds now. We're gonna go ahead and attempt the same thing. We're gonna attempt to try to do it in 3.0 seconds. Stand by. I failed. I failed that last iteration. I got hung up with in the magazine, trying to put the magazine in. So I failed that one, so I'm gonna go ahead and attempt it again. 3 seconds. Once again, I got hung up with the magazine. And once you start going faster, little things like that, you start getting hung up, and that's why you gotta practice and that's why you train. Stand by. Failed again. All right, we're gonna try it again. 3 seconds. Stand by. Stand by. Man, 3 seconds is kicking my butt. Stand by. Stand by. Alright, so in the last one, I almost made it, but I got hung up trying to put the magazine in. Almost doesn't count. You gotta do it again. These magazines are giving me a hard time today. We're gonna do it again. Once again, as you saw, the magazine didn't want to drop, so I had to go ahead and get it out the way. I put it in there. So we're gonna try it again. That extra second I'm taking to get the magazine out of there, that's what's killing me. You know what they say, if at first you don't succeed, keep on practicing. So as you saw, once again the magazine didn't want to drop, so I had to do that little swipe motion to get it out of the way, and that helped me save a couple seconds sitting there trying to pull it out myself. So we're going to try it again. So you see, it's a lot faster to just go ahead and swipe it than try to pull it, because sometimes you might miss it on the first pull and you're sitting there trying to pull it out. So you saw, once I swiped it, it was much faster and I didn't have to sit there with my left hand with the other magazine trying to get it out the way. That's a technique I'm going to continue while I'm trying to make this drill in under 3 seconds. Alright, I'm getting a little bit better, still need to work out these issues with these magazines, but let's continue. Shoot it ready, stand by. So we're going to do it one more time, and then we're going to call it a day for that speed reload drill. Shoot it ready, stand by. Alright, so once again, the magazine's not dropping, it's kicking my butt. And one of the reasons why the magazines are not dropping that easily is because since I'm using the training rounds and the magazines are not full, as you can see, they're not full at all. It's really light, and that's the type of situation that can really happen, because if you're doing a reload, it's because your magazine is empty. So I'm training as I fight because the magazine is going to be empty. That's one of the reasons why the magazines are not dropping on its own. We're going to go ahead, we're going to keep trucking, we're going to keep training. One more time. And I feel pretty confident. We're going to do it one more time. All right. One more time. I feel pretty good with how my speed reloads in under 3 seconds is going. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to practice some more. Also, another thing you want to understand is that when you're doing reloads, whether it's a speed reload or a combat reload, you want, a lot of the times when you reload, you're probably in a gunfight or you're in a situation where an active shooter or a self-defense situation. So you want to make sure that when you do reloads and you're training in the range, like training with barricades and walls or whatever, you want to make sure that you utilize whatever barricades and walls, and if you're reloading behind a car, you want to make sure that you get down to one knee and you want to make sure that you do what you got to do, practice the fundamentals, and make sure that you're training yourself to take a knee while you're doing that reload, so you can just get in that mindset that this is what you have to do in a real life situation. While you're dry firing and you're doing a lot of your speed reloads and your combat reloads and you're just dumping the mag and you're just putting another mag in there and just getting back on target and you're doing what you got to do, also make sure to practice your tactical reloads, because tactical reloads, just like pistols, is very common, something that's going to happen more likely in a situation when you're using your rifle just as much as using your pistol. Alright, so the first thing you want to do when you're going to perform a tactical reload is you want to make sure that you keep the rifle in your workspace, and you literally just turn the rifle just like this. You grab the other magazine. I like to grab it like this. And that's how I like to do my tactical reloads. So again, you're on the target, you realize you're empty, put your gun up, grab it. And you get back on target. When you're doing a tactical reload, you don't really have to worry too much about speed, because you don't want to sit there fumbling with your magazine, but you want to be nice and smooth and deliberate and just take your time. Attack reload, boom, 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 I'm out. Run my magazine. My next mag in. Put my mag in the pouch. Back on target. Side feature. Attack reload. Back on target. Boom, boom, boom. Grab the magazine. Back on target. Boom, boom, boom. You're out. Back on target. And that's how I perform my tac reloads. There's other techniques, other methods out there. This is not the end-all, be-all method. This is just what works for me and my body type and the way how I train. So just make sure that you do what you got to do, and make sure you train the way you expect to fight. Those are the things that you need to work on before you go to the range, before you do a live fire. You want to make sure that you get some dry fire reps in with some blank rounds or some pop caps, snap caps, or whatever you want to call them or whatever. And you practice your reloads and you practice functioning your weapon and feed weight stoppages. You want to make sure you do some double feeds. And you want to make sure you practice before you go to the actual range, and you waste a lot of rounds, because ammunition nowadays is not only hard to come by, but they're starting to get very, very expensive. You want to make sure that you do whatever dry fire techniques and dry fire training that you can do at home before you go to the range, and you waste a lot of time, money, and ammo. That's it for today. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.